Uh-huh. Good evening. Welcome to Badwolf Unincorporated, not to be confused with Badwolf Unrestricted. Let's get going. What's up, guys? It is the Bad Wolf. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let's get going because we got more knowledge. And yeah, to the people out there who've informed me that they are educating their youth on my videos, to all the youngsters out there, some of which I've met before through phone consultations. Keep going, learn everything you can, retain as much as you can, and be the best version of you can. And no matter where you are, to all people, everybody, especially of good, every day you are the best version of everything you've ever been through. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to downright suck. It's going to seem like the end of your path and everything. But I'm going to urge you to keep going. I'm going to urge you to take time to breathe, take time to be sad, take time to just exist. Shake off all the responsibilities, even if it's only for an hour or a day or a week. Just be you. Because every day you're going to find that you are somebody new every day. And every day you're going to try to renew the best version of you. So thank you to those awesome parents out there. Oh, excuse me. Didn't mean to swear on this channel. Thank you to all the biological mothers and fathers out there. I appreciate you. And you, young man, young lady, who are learning this information, I wish I would have been doing this when I was a kid. It's almost like they didn't want us to learn this when it's all around us every day, but they don't teach us this in school. Huh. Well, let me put the bad wolf mask on. Let's get into this, shall we? So, some people reminded me that I haven't done any good book reading in some time, like I used to when I first started this whole charades. So let's get back to it. Because I think you might find this video to be fire as let's go. All right. So today's word is going to be based on traffic. I mean, police officers always keep seeming to say that, oh, you were going so fast in traffic. Here's your traffic ticket. See you in traffic court. Here's your traffic citation. You live in a violation in traffic. Yeah, sometimes I forget to laugh. So let me get my pen out, a special highlighter, because I like to cover every word in the dictionary that I didn't learned. I can use my squiggles. Okay, I probably need my glasses. Anyway, all right. So traffic, TRA, thick, thick, traffic. Well, y'all see this? Hold on. See right there with yellow? What is that? With that little word right next to it? Right here, the big C word underneath my finger. Can you see it? Traffic is commerce. Well, golly gee, Mr. Police Officer, is you telling me? And I can do this because my family's from the South and so am I. Commerce is traffic and traffic is commerce? Commercial? They're one and the same. I guess commerce is a whole network of things, and traffic is but one subdivision of it. So let's see what it has to say. Traffic 16C. I still haven't figured out where 16C comes from. I think 16C refers to America's jurisprudence, and it might be book 16C. I think that's the connection there. See, I told you I'm not all wise, another great Oz. But it goes traffic N 16C, one, commerce, trade. When I'm in my car going from here to my girl's house, it's not trade. Am wait, you mean if I have a license, I'm in commerce and I'm doing trade? The sale or exchange of such things as merchandise, bills, and money. What? Well, ergo, then nearly everything that has the word traffic in it then must mean this definition because this is the definition book that they use in court. So somebody doing right to travel the right way is just opting to not be a part of the political system. They're not opting to be a part of the commerce system, trade, or for profit. That sounds like the original America, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, and a private citizen, somebody private, and not engaged in such licensing activities. Court system. And you guys know this. And you're fraudulently bringing people under your flag into your courtroom, trying to accuse them of doing commercial things when in fact they were trying not to. That's coercion. That's fraud. That's deception. I think people doing right to travel should then sue the court system for even the fact of being brought there. Am I wrong? I don't think so. Unless you talk to my girlfriend, then, you know, but legally in this area, I don't think so. And I don't think so with her either. Commerce. So traffic is commerce, trade, the sale or exchange of such things in merchandise, bills, and money. So you're telling me when a cop gives me a ticket, he's trying to elicit a sale. Because if I have a license, I'm then a member of the public, and I have, and a license means I have restrictions placed upon me, but also a benefit. And because I was accused of violating their rules that apply to them specifically, a statute or code, they are collecting a fee for that violation from their people. That doesn't sound very American. Hmm. Sounds like an opportunity of something that can be done within the American jurisdiction. Sounds like something that's a private system, but almost like the system is so big that even though it's privately held, it's available to the open people. So they call it the public. And then the police are administrators, trustees who look for violators of their own membership, but they can't violate a beneficiary, which would be what a private citizen is, because that's not a member of theirs to control, but only other trustees. The passing or exchanging of goods, commodities from one person to another for the equivalent in goods or money. Well, if we're in what is the cop giving me? What is the court giving me? What is the commerce? What are they giving me? That's equivalent to the money that they're taking from me in a good or a service. Oh, it's the privilege. But wait a minute. It's not illegal to use the roads without a license, only to drive because the word drive means for profit. So they're, come on, sound out the words, big guy. So they're giving me a privilege that I paid for. And if I don't use the privilege perfectly, then the exchange for that violation is for them to take more money from me. Okay. Just want to make sure I have this. That's right. People or things being transported along a route. So I was going too fast in traffic. So by getting a membership, I've then effectively told them that I'm doing things for profit. Oh, that's why I can just jump right into Uber or certain other things like that that use the roads for money with people I don't know to transport goods or services. But then wait a minute, what is it then when I'm going from my house to, you know, my job? Because that's not traffic, then that is it? That's not commerce. Oh, I guess legally, if I become a member, then me taking me there is transporting me there. And the system then has the assumption that I must be transporting people and products and goods and services along a route for money. So they charge me a fee and make sure my vehicle's up to par because if I'm in their jurisdiction, everything has to be up to code because that's part of the public requirement the government put in place for those doing things on the public side. And then that must mean that the state then is a subsidiary of sorts of the government and operating their own thing with the permission of the government. So they're not sovereign completely, but they can run their own membership the way they best see fit, which would be legal and lawful for them to do it while temporarily waiving my true lawful rights to do it just privately for me. But if I were to do it with people I don't know and lots of them, then that's called public and they control the public. Hmm. We should get to the bottom of that one day. That doesn't really seem fair that they're involved in our business, but okay, we'll leave that aspect alone for now. The passing to and fro of people, animals, vehicles, and vessels. So you're telling me my car is probably a vessel? I'm considered a vessel or vehicle to them? Along a transportation route. Let me just underline the word commerce here. I'll just highlight it. Oh, trade. Oh, I'll just highlight bills and money. Sale. Oh, yeah. Those are all commercial words. Exchange. You know what? I'm just going to highlight the whole paragraph. I just do that. Just, just. Because I know next time, hopefully there won't be, but should I get a ticket? It's not about arguing with the cop. It's about making sure that the judge knows that I was not engaged in traffic. Because here, clearly, the traffic code, the definition of traffic is commerce or trade. Now, if you have a driver's license, you are in fact a member of theirs, as I just stated, and you are doing traffic and trade and exchange. Now, if you're not actually doing that, but you got a membership for that, so that must be what you're doing. And when you're just going to your girlfriend or boyfriend or your side chick or your baby mama, your baby daddy, your side nigga, whatever else, which stop playing all those games. People grow the fuck up. But when you're doing that, you're on the public side because you have the driver's license. So you're on the public side, but if you're not doing anything truly trade, sale, exchange, so then you're using your public license in a private capacity while being on the public side. That then would be the opposite of The private side and private ability, private right, private freedom, private liberty. Huh. Traffic. Okay. As a verb, because that the N in traffic, the first one we read was as a noun. Let's see what traffic says here as a verb. To trade or deal in goods, especially illicit drugs or other contraband, trafficking. So when they say you're trafficking narcotics, they're saying you're doing a commercial trade and transaction because you're dealing with people you don't know and illegal substances. Then, of course, it goes on to traffic accident, traffic balancing, trafficker. Let's see what that one says. Someone who buys and sells illegal goods, especially drugs, blah, blah. Trafficking, the transportation trade, concealment, dealing in illegal goods or people. Oh, so like my baby mama taking my son out of state against my knowledge and wishes. So she trafficked him. Huh. Should probably highlight that one too. I do believe that's against the law and a federal offense. Federal government, local police departments, County of Alameda, California, FBI, attorney generals. Trafficking in persons is the next one. See trafficking. Traffic offense. Trafficking offense. A traffic officer. Hold on. Let's see here. A traffic officer. What is a traffic officer? It says see police officer. Oh, so a police officer is actually a traffic officer. And traffic up here says commerce, trade, or the sale of exchange of things, merchandise. So police officers are traffickers of goods and services and merchandise and violators of such. Well, let's see what traffic police is. Sure, that's got to be something different. Oh, it says see police, policy enforcers. Huh. See, what I'm teaching you guys right now, this is the legal level of the law. That's why they don't like me, but want to be just like me. Hands up. You're violating the traffic laws of goods and services for profit that the police station is making because there's a board that owns the police stations. It's a moneymaker, and then they work back and forth to make money mutually with the court system, which the lower courts are also money makers. If they're making money off of their on their members or alleged members for profit, that doesn't sound like a true, real American government out for the good of the people. That sounds like for the good of the profit. I told you guys this was going to be a very powerful video that you need to share. Or don't. Doesn't bother me. I already know most of this stuff. I'm just getting you to the game. Traffic violation. Okay, traffic regulation, a prescribed rule of conduct for traffic, a rule intended to promote the orderly and safe flow of traffic. So, a traffic regulation, when you violate that, They're saying you're violating commerce, trade, profit, bills exchange, money, commodities, goods, trafficking of people while being a member of theirs. Oh, look, someone who roams around from place to place begging or living without labor of visible means to support themselves. Sounds like my ex-girlfriend or my baby's mama. Oh, and the definition of that is tramp. Hmm. So my son's mother would be a tramp. Sense. Tramp Corporation. C Corporation. That's a new one. Tramp Corporation. C Corporation. So if tramp means the rumor place begging, so tramp corporation. Interesting. Transaction. Colorable transaction. A sham transaction having the appearance of authenticity. A pretended transaction. The court set aside the colorable transaction. Here's one. Commercial transaction. A business deal. So an officer writing you a ticket is a business deal. It's an in-house business deal amongst members. Or an arrangement that alters your legal rights. Can't make this up. See, you guys are using words you don't understand. You're understanding them. You think you have a comprehension of them, but you're standing underneath the words. When you understand the words and their definition and how they're used in jurisdiction, now you're overstanding them to stand over one. I'm not under somebody. I'm over that somebody, and I know what's going on. I have the high ground, Anakin. I'm not getting humped. I'm doing the humping. I'm standing on solid ground. I'm not underground. I'm not underwater. Most cops understand the words. They think they do. The legal department overstands the words. This is why we have problems with some on the side of the road. And they are willing to pull out their pew pews to convince you you're wrong. When 100% of the time in this vocab, they're wrong. They don't understand what they're doing. The judge does, the magistrate does. And then they're forcing you, if you're doing right to travel, to now, if you're doing something illegal, criminal, or endangering public safety, that's one thing. We're talking about just good people here. Not talking about sovereign citizens, even though it's an oxymoron. They can't prosecute you as a sovereign citizen. They can only prosecute you as a U.S. citizen who's not obeying their privileges within the system in the geographical area that they can apply towards either their members, but not a national, unless the national causes controversy and pulls themselves into that. Because the government gave them the ability to operate over just their members and occasionally, if doing something criminal or endangering public safety or their own personal welfare, the national. Transfer to Minors Act. See Uniform Transfer to Minors Act. Transfer on death deed. Let's see if they have transportation, the movement of goods or persons, we don't know what persons they're talking about, from one place to another by a carrier. So when they say you're a violation of the transportation code, that must mean you must have to be a carrier. What is a carrier? It's kind of interesting. I thought for sure they would have had the word transmute in here. Oh, because remember, the Palms manual and the Social Security Administration says they transmute. So what does that mean? I know what it means. So let's see what reading it live right now, what Black's Law says about it. And this is the brand new edition. A change in nature of something, especially in family law. The transformation of separate property into marital property or of marital property into separate property to transmute a change in the nature of something. So when they say they're transmuting your name from your given name into a legal name, they're changing the nature of the substance of your name. What did it say? Carrier? Okay. So look up carrier real quick. Okay. Because, motor car, carrier. Let's see what that means actually. Carrier, an individual, which usually means living, or organization such as a ship owner. So when they call you a motor vehicle carrier, they're saying that your vehicle is a ship. Can't make this up. An individual or organization such as a ship owner, a railroad or airline, all things that are you cannot do on your own, a ship, a railroad or airline, that contracts to transport. So contract means goods and services exchange for money, etc. Commercial, to transport passengers or goods for a fee. There you have it. A common or public carrier is one who undertakes as a business for hire, that's for profit, or reward to carry one from one place to another place of goods or persons by carriage, to become liable for an action of an aggrieved party. That's interesting. Oh, sometimes it pays to read more. I almost skipped over that. A common carrier is generally required by law to transport freight or passengers without refusal. So if you transport people or whatever or freight and you basically cannot refuse, you're considered a common carrier. But there's also then what's mentioned is a what which is common carrier, otherwise known as a public carrier. A contract carrier, C, private carrier. Then there's a marine carrier, a carrier operating on a navigable water subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. A private carrier is any carrier that is not a common carrier by law. A private carrier is not bound to accept business from the general public, also termed contract carrier. But the key word here, though they're using the word private, is still they're using the word carrier. So do not refer to yourself as a private carrier. All right, guys, that's it. I just wanted to get that particular word done. We've got another one. I find this one might be just as interesting as the last. Stay tuned.